hate Logitech so much, dude. It jacked my camera all up again. But hey, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing out there? You'll notice Shim is gone. Give me 1 second here while I fix this camera because Logitech can suck a big old
Sponsor is Logitech.
God, no, please don't.
Still love the Blink 182 ripoff music though. Gets me going.
Gets us rocking and or rolling.
Sponsor is Manscaped.
All right, nice, good slow start to the show as I had to fix my camera. But hello, Vero, already in the chat. Hello, how you doing today? We got lots of fun things lined up today. A lot of aliens. In case you couldn't tell by the old thumbnail there, I do actually want to make sure I share.
We mean outer space aliens.
Outer space aliens. Extraterrestrials, if you will. Let me go ahead and give this a little share on Facebook here real quick. We are live. Lots of alien talk today. Like, seriously. So I think pretty much 90% of the show is going to be... Oh, no, actually, take it back. Because we also have a bunch of other games. We're going to play the Gen Z game again. We are also going to get to a sort of nerd trivia game. If you watched my any of my channels, whether that's Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and you saw all those... the videos I used to do with Lan where I was asking him essentially trivia questions and then he would answer the trivia. It's questions that are all along those lines. It was a game that I got a while ago for it's called like something nerd something, but it's a trivia game.
You're a nerd.
I am a nerd and I'm proud of it. Wouldn't we all be considered nerds? No Shim again today, like I mentioned. Nightmare's here. We did one show and all of a sudden Shim bails on us. So that's essentially kind of what we're doing there. But Frank and Lan here. Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
We'll hold the fort down.
Oops.
Do they have forts in Australia? Or
God
is it just...
damn it.
Pretty sure they had forts in Australia.
I hit a wrong button and it jacked everything up and I lost all of my tabs. So far the show is going absolutely swimmingly. I literally lost all of my show notes that I was working on.
Who needs notes in the world today? What are you talking about?
This is not going well at all. So anyway, but yeah. So the guys are here. Let's start moving on so that we can actually get the show rolling. This was an absolute bumpy ride. And now I'm not seeing... Oh, here we go. Again, we're getting to a lot of alien talk today. We have the Miami invasion. Frank was mentioning that, was it earlier this week or was it the end of last week?
It was the end of last week.
And as Frank was mentioning it,
they weren't Cubans.
I had just stumbled onto Dan Le Batard talking about it. We're also going to get to that nerd trivia like I talked about. We're going to get to the Gen Z game. We're going to talk about things that we are currently watching. So in case you're, struggling with something that you're trying to find something to occupy your time, we're going to let you know how we are occupying our time. We do have also an alien invasion movie draft that we will be doing. Still haven't quite figured out how we're going to decide the draft order. Maybe the points on the Gen Z game we'll get to see who gets to pick first. But we're going to try to build the best triple feature night of alien invasion movies. So once somebody picks one, that bad boy's off the board. And then we're going to wrap up with Gartic Phone, in which you guys are, anybody watching the live stream, I don't think we're going to get, flooded with, 1,000 views all of a sudden. So you guys should be able to play with us. Essentially, the way Gartic Phone works is you're given a phrase, or I think everybody makes up a phrase. And then the next person has to draw it. And then it gets passed to the next person, and they have to guess what the drawing is. And then it gets passed to another person, and then they have to draw what the person guessed. And so it's essentially Pictionary and the telephone game all sort of kind of wrapped into one there. But that's what we got coming up on the program. I do want to get to a couple of posts here. The first one being Jeff DeBoer, a guy I worked with, Mr. Jay Parker in Eugene, Oregon. And he commented, this was our, I can't really see it. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this was on the YouTube video for the fast food horror stories that we had last week. So he's asking specifically about your story, Frank. And he's saying,
Yeah, I read it. I saw what he said.
okay, so he says, did he taste what was in the box to verify that it's melted cheese? What it looks like to me is Mac sauce, essentially what they put into Big Mac, which is, I believe, Thousand Island dressing, essentially.
But is
kind
it
of what
yellow?
it is.
I thought it was like white.
No, I think it's yellow. It's like Thousand Island.
Really? I've only had one Big Mac my entire life, so I wouldn't know.
So he's guessing that somebody ordered a bunch of extra Mac sauce, and then they put it in a McNuggets box, and the two got mixed up. So are you positive that it was a cheese that was in that box, or could it possibly be the
Should have
Mac
tipped your
sauce?
nuggets in it.
Yeah, considering I didn't want to taste it, with the possibility of getting the bubonic plague from McDonald's cheese nuggets.
Cheese.
No, it looked just like queso dip to you. I mean, I would not have thought that somebody would get a side order of special sauce in a box. That did not enter my brain, my thought process there. So I have no clue.
So basically, it just immediately went in the trash, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's probably still alive. Dissolving people, growing bigger.
Or maybe it's what was crawling around down in Miami while all the police were out there. Also, I do want to give a shout out to some people over on Facebook who were commenting on one of my posts. I did have one that kind of blew up a little bit. It's got over 1,000 likes on it at this point. I'm not even sure how many views it has, but it was the one that I did that was talking about how the very first X-Men animated show was supposed to be episode 13 of the RoboCop animated series. And I specifically used the picture of Rogue from season 1 of the X-Men animated series, knowing full well that it's not the from the episode that I'm talking about. But there are certain people here that they truly understand exactly what it is that we're going for. As you can see, one gentleman commented on the post, lured me in using Rogue. Well played, sir. Mm-hmm. Another guy said, did you know you used the wrong X-Men cartoon? Yes, actually I did. I did that for a reason. And then Jeff Clark says, love the clickbait of Apocalypse to get us here. To which Corey writes, OP knows their audience. And I was like, I like to think that I do. And then they enjoyed that.
How many of those guys you think actually clicked on Rogue's butt to open the story?
I would say the vast majority.
100%.
Yes, right. The vast majority. And there was a lot more comments. If you want to go and read some of these really funny comments, you can head on over to my Facebook page. Again, it is at The Real Brandalorian. But I want to make sure I'm giving some shout outs there. There was, and it's bugging me because there was somebody who commented on one of my posts. This was a while ago on Instagram with just an absolutely ridiculously funny screen name. So if you find anything like that, it doesn't even have to necessarily be on my content. If it's on anything, like if you guys are on Instagram, this could be Frank or Alan or anybody here who's watching. If you find somebody with just a hilarious screen name, take a screenshot and send it to me, and I'll give them a shout out on the show because that stuff is always worth checking out because I think it is absolutely hilarious that some of the screen names that we get from a lot of these people.
We'll do Capitone.
All right. We're moving into the alien stuff here, boys. So the first thing that Frank had mentioned, and I wasn't quite sure if these were the same or if these were different, because the first thing Frank wanted to talk about was ultra terrestrials. Not extra, ultra terrestrials. But then it was after that, then the Miami invasion came up. So Frank, take your pick. Which one do you want to start with?
Well, we'll just start. I mean, I had gotten into that rabbit hole again at work where it popped up on my YouTube algorithm, this thing about ultra terrestrials. And I was like, oh yeah, so I came in, was going to talk about ultra terrestrials. And then not even an hour after that, just Twitter blew up about the Miami alien invasion that happened last week. So I'll start with the ultra terrestrials. Basically, the summary of it is there's a theory that aliens, which I will put this out there, I don't believe aliens ever have been to this world. I don't believe in like crap hidden in Area 51. I'm not one of those complete nutballs like that. I just love the stories. But their theory is that aliens aren't actually extraterrestrial and they are basically from another dimension. And what ghosts, cryptoids like the Loch Ness Monster, the Chupacabra, all those, any of the spooky stuff is actually ultra terrestrials that are just from another dimension that we can't make out or even see. And that's the explanation for ultra terrestrials. So they're not coming in from other planets. They're here, but they're just dimension hopping.
God,
And that's what ultra terrestrials are.
I really wish Shim was here on this episode
Would
because
it freak him out?
he and I were recording, and maybe Vera or Nightmare, you can remember this better than I do. We were discussing, somehow we got on the topic of the pyramids, and I think it was during an episode of Rockstar 101,
God,
and Shim was adamant
that the aliens built it.
that aliens built it.
See, oh man, yeah, I would have lost a little bit of bonus, respect points for him. I hate when people take human, ingenuity,
Achievements?
yeah, out of the process and just go, yeah, it was aliens from another planet that did that crap. Because we're not smart enough to figure out how to make blocks.
I'm maybe a little less like
Push him.
little less than Frank, where it's like, look, if you want to believe that, you're more than welcome to believe that. Like that's perfectly fine. It's not. It's
I
no
love
skin
the
off my ass.
stories, and if you want to believe that, it's fine. But I just don't take that crap away from people. Being smart and doing. Aztecs, Indians. They did it themselves. People, there wasn't a diamond cutting machine that made their rocks for them and put them into spots. Yeah, so
according to
terrestrial.
according to Shim, that was because the aliens were the ones that made it because they didn't have the tools to build it.
Does Shim know how long it took to build the pyramids?
Yeah, see, Nightmare's she's there. She's like, oh yeah, he's a big time believer. She's saying in the chat.
Oh man.
Again, I really wish that Shim were here.
We'll bring it back up for him. So on to the Miami stuff that happened. So I think it was last
have you heard about
Thursday.
this land? Did you look into this at all?
Yeah, did you hear this?
No, I've never heard of it.
So I guess last Thursday night there was this whole big thing that happened at the Miami Mall, which is like I'm not exactly sure where that is, but like there was like
It's in
50
Miami?
to 50 to 70 cops that just surged the mall. And of course, a normal human being would go, "Oh, well, obviously it was probably a shooting or fights or whatever, because it's Miami. I mean, what are we talking about here?"
Or they're filming Miami Vice too.
Yeah, or it's some crazy thing going on. But the story that took over, Alan, is there was this video that came out, and of course we live in a world now where phones take HD freaking footage of everything. But this like griddled 1990s version of video came out, and the cops are sitting there, and in front of one of the cops' vehicles you see like a shadowy figure like walk across, and the silhouette makes it look like it's like 8 to 10 feet tall, and it looks like it's gray. Now when you look at it, you see none of this crap, but people on the internet swore that, oh look, it's an alien. And then all these stories came out that the cops got called and shut down the mall because people were reporting seeing 8 to 10 foot tall gray aliens running around. For whatever reason, they traveled light years to go to the Miami Mall, out of all places that you would want to go as an alien. Let's go hang out at the mall.
Maybe they're Heat fans. Maybe they're
Foot
big
Locker.
fans.
Is
of
the
Eric
place
Spoelstra.
called the Bayside Marketplace?
Yes, I think in that area.
I'm watching the video right now.
Yeah, and
there's nothing.
there's like dozens and dozens of cops with the lights on out in the street. Like it was
what the
crazy.
actual story was there were a bunch of teens there that were fighting and rioting and throwing fireworks at people. So somebody called in as it was a shooting, as like a, as it is these days, one of these crazy shooters. So they all swarmed. But instead of paying attention to that, people like Shim went straight to saying it was aliens.
Yeah, because I'm watching the video
mall.
and then they're just showing this one person like walking across.
Yeah, that's your
And
alien.
then they're like,
your
that's an alien.
Alien.
And now there's all sorts of videos out there of people, the people go on and they put in portals of just as other crap, and it's the most ridiculous stuff. But there's people out there that actually believe that Florida had these aliens shut down the mall, and that the Miami police are lying about this stuff, that there's actual footage from the cops out there of this going on, and don't want to believe that it was actually a bunch of kids.
I got it. Do you know what it was that was actually walking in that video? Think really tall and lanky.
I was going to say,
a little bit
a
awkward.
basketball player?
Yeah, it was Chris Bosh.
For the Miami Heat.
That's Chris Bosh.
That or Mourning, one of the former
do you know I booed him? Not at a
booed
game,
him?
in a movie theater.
Wow.
We were in Miami, and we were at it was a pre-screening for some movie, and this was obviously when Chris Bosh was on the Heat back in like 2010 or something like that, and I didn't have the balls to do it like loud enough to actually have him know what was going on, but he showed, so everybody's sitting, and they'd roped off 3 or 4 seats. And he comes in, and so it's just all the Heat fans. They're all hooting and hollering and stuff. And he walks right behind me, and I just did the moo like that. And I don't even think he heard me. I don't think I had.
Maybe he thought you were mooing at him, and he
It's
was like
possible.
weird bald white guy mooing at people.
I still think he looks like a velociraptor, but that's just me. All right, random trivia question here, as we're on the subject of aliens here, guys. What is the name of the alien in the 1951 movie The Day the Earth Stood Still?
Oh,
or a 2008 version. It's the same thing.
And I want to say Dort or Bort, but it's not. It's
Lan? Nothing?
No idea.
Give it to us.
Klaatu.
Klaatu. Okay.
And who played Klaatu in the 2008 version, Frank?
It was Keanu Reeves.
It
my
was
twin.
Keanu Reeves. All right. And one more thing I wanted to get up before we get to the nerd trivia here is, as I was kind of thinking of these alien things that we're going to do today, because we're doing a lot of alien content. Do you guys remember when they broadcast Alien Autopsy on Fox?
Yes.
Yeah.
What a joke that was.
And
people still believe that's real.
Yeah, and they were selling it as it was I mean, when it was on Fox, it was Alien Autopsy, fact or fiction, is essentially kind of what they did, which it's all since been massively debunked. Yeah, like it in no way, shape, or form. But if you are too young to remember Alien Autopsy, this was an actual thing that aired, I believe.
It was hyped.
And let me, this was a big.
It was 97 or 96, right?
Yeah, it was 95 was when it came out. And so it was called Alien Autopsy, Fact or Fiction, and it was hosted by
the dude from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Jonathan Frakes?
Yeah. Jonathan Frakes.
Number 1.
Yeah.
2 or whatever.
Remember, he was doing all those, was it Ripley's Believe It or Not and stuff like that?
No, it was.
That was a ripoff of Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God. All right, now
Yeah,
we're falling down
the
this
name
rabbit
of
hole.
the show.
They have all those memes of him going, "Do you think this was real? Not a chance. Not any." They put all the stuff like, "Am I going to stop drinking tonight? Not a chance."
Beyond belief. Beyond belief. Fact or fiction.
Yeah.
Which is apparently back.
Is it?
It ran from 98 to 2002, and now it has it listed as 2001 to present.
Dan Aykroyd had a series like that for a while there in the 90s, which was freaking wild.
Dan Aykroyd's vodka is the one in the glass in the skull because he believes in the crystal skull.
Who does? Oh yeah. Yeah, he's kind of out there with his stuff too, man.
Nightmare says, I love the supercut video of him asking weird questions from that show. I always like it when the meme is basically anytime I go on a blind date or anybody's trying to engage me in a conversation, and it's like, do you know how much your toenails grow in a year? Like just weird shit like that. And it's just like the oddest question anybody could possibly think of. I love it.
How long do they grow in a year?
I have no idea. I didn't actually.
You got me invested. No,
I didn't get that far into the episode. All right, it's time for nerd trivia, boys. We're gonna test your nerd knowledge. Who wants to go first? Do either of you want to go first? I'm gonna flip a coin.
I'll go first. I'll fail the nerd knowledge.
All right, we'll start with Frank. And so I gathered these up, and these range from movie questions to tabletop games to video games to literature to toys and technology and all kinds of different things. I was going to put them in a kind of a specific order, and it's just a mishmash. Like I just kind of typed out what was there. So
mishmash.
Yeah. So it's if you guys don't like your questions, then I think I have a little
jambalaya, if you will.
Jambalaya. I kind of have. It's not PTSD because I don't want to downgrade to what PTSD actually is, but I'm a little wary of when it comes to trivia questions because when I worked with Buzz on the morning show, he was such a pain in the ass when it came to trivia questions because if it was too easy, he would throw a fit. But if he didn't know it, your question was bad. Like I'm being serious. Like that's legitimately what we went through. So all right, Frank.
All these questions are bad.
Frank can go first. Here we go. Question number 1.
It's already bad.
It's a movie question for you, Frank. Oh, it's a good thing you're going
Ooh.
first. You should know this because I know that this is a movie that you absolutely love. In
Okay.
Back to the Future.
Oh, I have theories on that movie.
Well, this isn't about this is trivia questions.
No, but I'm just saying.
What time did the lightning bolt strike the clock tower?
Oh, Jesus. 12:44, right?
Nope. Lan, do you want to steal?
It was 11:56.
No, both of you wrong. It was 10:04 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
10:04
way
p.m.
off.
Nobody getting the point. All right, now we're moving on to Lan on this one. This is a tabletop game question for
Love
you.
Back to the Future.
In Clue, which suspect is associated with the color blue? And we're talking the original game, by the way, because there's updates and stuff. In Clue, which suspect is associated with the color blue? And by the way, in the chat, you guys are more than welcome to answer these as well, because it's on these guys to not cheat.
They probably know more than we do.
It's possible. No, I'm sorry. Frank, you want to steal?
I want to say Mr. Plum, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
Nope, it was Mrs. Peacock. Mr. Plum would have been, he's purple.
I don't. That's the only
Peacock was
name
like
I
green.
remembered was Mr. Plum.
Oh, no, and then Colonel Mustard, he was
And
yellow.
Tim Curry and Christopher Lloyd.
Mrs. Peacock was a man? See, Nightmare got it. Good job in the chat. All right, here we go. Next question.
She
We're so
gets
far
everything
we're
right.
0 for 2. Frank, another movie question for you, buddy.
Ooh.
In Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, what authority replaces the Galactic Empire?
You know, you were talking of PTSD and
movie was so
bringing
bad,
these
you didn't
movies
know.
back. Yeah, you know, because I had put, especially The Last Jedi, I had put that in a cave in my brain somewhere to forget about it.
Like that cave that they end up in at the end of the movie? All right,
Hate
you got
that
it?
movie. The something New Order.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Lan, want to
I thought that
steal?
was it.
You want to steal?
The New World Order.
No, but we did forget to get to Frank. He wants to discuss the Poke of Doom. We'll get to that here.
Yeah.
Remind me before we get to that. No, it's the First Order.
Oh, I was gonna say the Fourth Reich, but that was a different one altogether.
No, but it looks like it when he's giving them speeches. All right, so far we're 0 for 3, gentlemen. Here we go. Number 4. This one's for you, Lan. This is a literature/movie question. In Harry Potter, what is the make and model of the Weasleys' flying car?
Oh my God.
What the hell?
Again, anybody in the chat is more than welcome to answer these questions.
It was a 1976 Toyota Corolla.
It was not a 1976 Toyota Corolla. Was that the one
Did
that
not
you
have
had?
cruise control.
Was that the one that you had back in the day that we used to putz around in, the little white one? Or was that the yellow one that
That
didn't
was
have
like
a
80.
floorboard?
That was like 86. The one my sister drove was the one my sister drove was a Celica.
It was a yellow one that didn't have a floorboard.
Yeah.
All right. So Lan didn't get it right. Frank, you want to steal?
Euro piece of trash. I don't know.
The Ford Anglia. It was a Ford
Oh.
Anglia. All right, we are
Still a
0
piece of
for
trash.
4, boys. Here we go. Where you
I've only
going?
seen one Harry Potter movie. I'm sorry.
Really? Which one?
The very first one. I told you about that, and I told my girlfriend at the time that it was a ripoff of Star Wars, and she never took me to see him ever again after that.
I bet you were real upset. All right, here we go. Next question.
Yeah.
This one's for Frank. It's a television question.
Okay.
Where is Everybody was the pilot episode of which television series?
Where is everybody? Oh, it was
Oh.
on HBO, wasn't it?
Mm.
I know what series you're thinking of, Frank, but
Yeah, and I can't think of the name with Justin Tabardoro, whatever the hell his name was. Guy that used to bone Rachel from Friends. I don't know.
All right. Well, Frank didn't get it. Lan?
Lost.
No.
Oh.
I think I gave you this one before, Lan.
No, I don't remember.
The Twilight Zone. The
Oh, I
Twilight
was
Zone. The
way
very
off
first
there.
episode
The Remains.
is Where
the Remains.
is
Was
Everybody?
that the HBO one? The Remains or whatever that
No,
was?
The Leftovers.
There you go.
Leftovers is the one you're thinking of,
Leftovers.
yeah.
You were thinking of The Leftovers, which I heard was really not that good. But we are struggling here, boys. We are 0 for 5. Here's number 6. And
Yeah, these
we're-
questions suck.
And we're back.
Yes, bad questions. What are you talking about?
All right, Lan. It's a movie question for you, buddy. What candy does Elliot use to lure E.T. inside the house?
I know this one.
Reese's Pieces.
Hey, we got our first point, ladies and gentlemen.
And it was an alien question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of was. It was an alien question. All right, there we go. We finally got 1 point on the board, laying up 1-0. All right, Frank, this one is for you. This is a toy question.
So we're going over.
What is the name of the electronic handheld virtual pet that was released worldwide in 1997?
What those the Digimons? The Digis somethings? I don't know.
No, I'm sorry, it was not a Digimon. Lan, would you like to steal?
Yeah, this question actually, yes, you did give me this one
Yeah?
before. It's Tamagotchi.
It
Something
is
like that.
Tamagotchi, ladies and gentlemen.
I was in high school. I didn't pay attention to that.
Although I
stuff at
should
that
look
time.
that up because when did the Digimon come out? Because it came out in 1997.
Yeah, but Digimon wasn't a virtual.
It was like a
pet
card game or something, wasn't it?
I
Yeah,
thought,
it
but
was
I
like
thought they still, I
Pokemon,
thought they also
basically.
had the Nightmare Tamagotchi, which I probably misspelled. I thought they had the small things with Digimon as well. It
I'm
looks
pretty
like
sure they did, but
it
it
looks
was
like it was
well
af-
after Tamagotchi.
yeah, it was after the fact. So yeah, Tamagotchi was the big one there. All right, so we are 2-0 Lan, and who are we on for this one first? This is actually we're back on Lan, aren't we? Because Frank
Back on
missed that
Lanny
one.
boy.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Next
yeah,
I don't know my
that's
Tamagotchi creatures.
It's another toy question for you here. Which flying toy derives its name from the local bakery's empty pie plates that Yale students tossed around in 1871?
The radio flyer? No. I have no idea.
Frank?
Frisbee.
Hey
Oh.
I thought that was invented in Back to the Future 3. I got lied to.
All right, Lan with a 2-1 lead. Here we go. Very next question. We're talking literature/movie. And this one is for I'm getting
Frank.
lost already here. This one's for Frank.
It's Frank. It's Frank.
There's only two of us.
Look, I'm doing like a million things here. Back off. What is the answer to life, the universe, and everything?
42.
Whoa! Would you have gotten that, Lan?
No.
Do you know what that's from?
Hitchhiker's
Yes.
Guide to the
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We are all tied up at 2 apiece. Look
We
at
was
this. You
just
guys
on
on the
this past
comeback
week.
trail. This one here is for Lan. And it is a oh, look at you looking into a comic question.
Maybe.
If you don't get this one, we're no longer friends. Which member of the Defenders has nearly unbreakable skin?
Power Man.
Power Man is correct. Lan up to 3 points. Next one here for Frank. It's a technology question. You got to get this one. No, because I guess you could steal the last one as well, but it's a technology question. Here we go. The 3 Apple founders were Steve Jobs, Ronald Wayne, and which other person?
One more time.
The 3 Apple founders were Steve Jobs, Ronald Wayne, and which other person?
Bill Gates.
No.
Oh,
Apple.
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 Lan, do you know it?
Wozniak.
Yeah.
yeah. That hit me just after I said Bill Gates.
After you said Bill Gates. All right, so Lan's going to get the win here, but it's 4-2. So Lan, you get this final question. If you know this one, what was the name of the first video uploaded to YouTube by one of the company's founders in 2005?
Wasn't it like Day at the Zoo or something like that?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'm not going to give you the point because obviously, but yeah, it's called Me at the Zoo is the name of it. And then I do have winter music for you guys now. I can give you this one. If you want.
yeah?
Or if you
I
want, we can
request
do
more
like
saxophone.
we can do like a full we get this one.
Ooh, Olympic.
Yeah, this is like the full if
Ooh, I
you
like
want the
that.
medal with like the confetti. This is where you can take your bow. There you go.
And then the naked women come out. Oh wait, that was a dream.
All right, that seriously goes on for like 3 minutes.
John Williams.
No, it's not John Williams. We were actually talking about John Williams before we tackled all of this. We were getting ready for the show today. All right, next segment. Here we go. We're talking about what are we watching, reading, or playing. It's kind of just really to give you guys an idea of the stuff that we are into. If you guys have any suggestions in the chat, you are more than welcome to fire away if you have opinions on any of this stuff. The first thing that I got to bring up is we just finished Only Murders in the Building. Lan, I know you watched it, but did you watch the last season, the one with Ant-Man? Paul Rudd?
Because I don't have Hulu anymore.
Oh, well, you know it's going to be coming up on ABC, right?
What?
Only Murders in the Building. Yeah, so
No.
the thing that's happening now is with the writer's strike, there's no new content for their network shows, or for the network channels.
At least for the next month.
Yeah, so they're basically going to be broadcasting Only Murders in the Building on ABC.
Huh.
Season 3 was okay. It did get to the point where my wife and I were like, we're invested enough that we feel like we could finish it, and we need to finish it just so we can get through it. But it was still remotely entertaining. Like, we did enjoy it. It just wasn't as good as the first season was.
How was Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd was fantastic. Paul Rudd's pretty much fantastic in anything that he does. So,
Meryl Streep.
yeah. Spoiler alert, he is the one that dies in this season. But,
I was gonna say I didn't see too much about him, so even though I've never seen it, I was like, I bet he dies.
well, that's teased at the end of season 2 before they go to season 3 that he's the one that dies. So, also, I'm watching. Are you guys watching Monarch: Legacy of Monsters?
No, I've heard good things about it though.
It's pretty good. It's on Apple TV Plus. It's got Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell essentially playing the same character in different time frames. Like one of the, obviously the son is playing the same character back in like the 40s and 50s, and then Kurt. And they even joke about how, like, dude, if you were alive back then, you'd be like 90 years old. And he's like, oh, I got good genes. I got good genetics. Is basically what he says.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that he and I are like spirit animals, and he just doesn't know that yet? Like, we're destined to meet at some time.
Sounds like a star.
Kurt Russell?
Yeah. So he was born on St. Patrick's Day, like yours truly. He played baseball for the Portland Mavericks in Portland, and then he also played baseball down here in El Paso. I mean, I'm just saying. Oh, and he's also a living god in Guardians of the Galaxy. And look at me. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that right there is that's all you guys
but the
need to know.
difference was that he was Jack Burton and you were not.
That's true. That is the one thing he's got. He one-ups me on. All right, so Lan, what's something that you're checking out, man? What do you got going on? What are you
Watching a lot of stuff.
Are you just still completely engulfed in FIFA?
Yeah, FC24 is kind of.
Or
I've been
FC21?
grinding really hard on that game.
Grinding.
But I've checked out some, especially with things like the winter sales and the things like that's been going on. I've been checking out quite a few games. Like I've just like last night I've been playing a lot of this game called Trepang.
Trepang?
Trepang.
Is that related to Topanga?
No.
Oh.
But it's
Whoa.
if you like
how do you spell it?
Trepang.
Because
And there's a 2 at the end of it, but it's not the second game. It's the first game in the series.
it's like how they did Leonard Part 6.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I just typed in
Melted
Trepang,
butter.
like Tripang, and it looks like a sea dick. It's a sea cucumber.
TRE.
Yeah, I
You
did
did
I did
TRI
TRI.
Okay. But if you're a fan of the Fear games,
Oh,
the combat in it is just like that because the guys are big fans of Fear.
okay.
So it's bullet time. It's lots of guns, lots of gore, and body parts spilling all over the place.
Nice.
But I've been playing that quite a bit. I've been playing the new Star Trek game, which is like a Telltale game.
Oh, I love
game runs
Telltale
like-
games, man.
It's not made by Telltale though,
But it's
Telltale,
similar
like-
to kind of
Yeah.
how they do it.
the game runs like shit though. So
Really?
be wary. But the story so far is pretty good. And reading, I've still been stuck on book 2 of the Siege of Terra Warhammer. If anybody's interested,
Lan is big into the Warhammer books.
Even though the series is almost done, and the latest books go for now around $100.
By the way,
and it's very hard to get.
speaking of Telltale games, did you ever play The Wolf Among Us?
No, it's in my library. I haven't
Uh,
played it though.
So they had it for free on it was like Xbox. This was before Game Pass. This was when they would just every month they would release a couple of free games.
Free games, yeah.
And this was one of them. So I downloaded it and it was awesome. I absolutely loved the Wolf Among Us. I even went and bought the comic books.
I was gonna say, if you like the game, you should read the comic.
Yeah, like I even got I think I got God, I don't even remember how many I picked up, but yeah, it's well worth playing. If you guys get a chance, definitely check out The Wolf Among Us and go ahead and play it. Frank, what's something that you're either watching, reading, or playing with?
Well, I'm not
Playing
much of an up-to-date guy like a lot of these kids are these days. Excuse me.
Sorry, I'll mute my mic next time.
No, I mean, I actually was watching that What If series on Disney Plus, the second season of the Marvel stuff where they do the whole What If, like
Is that
where
wrapped
different
up?
Yeah, I mean, they did it for like a 12 days of Christmas type stuff. So they put an episode out every day, the 12 days of Christmas. The first season was all right. It wasn't anything too crazy about it. The second was actually, you could tell the art was a lot better. They took their time with it, but I'm not, again, it's like some of the episodes are good, and then the others are just kind of, it's like they're introducing a new character or they're just filling time, I guess. So if you're really into just kind of seeing different versions of those characters, then it's like one of the episodes they ripped off Die Hard, and they had Happy, the Jon Favreau's character,
yeah.
which he did the voice, and the Stark Towers invaded by Hammer, the guy from Iron Man 2.
Does Happy at least get to wear shoes?
He becomes a mutated Hulk.
What?
Like he looks like a giant purple penis. I lie to you not. Like this mutated purple penis Hulk creature
All right.
that goes around and just fights everything.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
But they basically they ripped it was pretty good. They did it on purpose, but it kind of tied into last year with Doctor Strange. Like the final episode last year was Doctor Strange. Ultron got all the stones and was going to destroy the universe, and Strange put him into some weird dimension box or whatnot. And now he's going around and he's taking people from different universes that he claims, is going to help fix the problem. But in reality, he just wants to kill him.
Nice.
And the final episode is a friggin' like drug trip. It is just filled with all sorts of just different characters of, 15 different Thors, of different versions of Thors and Iron Mans and this and that. And they're all fighting each other and fighting, Doctor Strange. But yeah, it's all right if you want to check that stuff out.
Yeah, I've got that on my list of things that I kind of want to check out. You know what I randomly watched? I think it was last Friday, and it was super
movie?
late. A movie, and it was super late last Friday, and I was flipping around, and I saw a scene of the movie Payback on Instagram. Do you guys remember that movie with Mel Gibson?
Oh yeah,
I love that movie. It's like
Oh.
the first movie he went bad guy on. It's
Man!
fantastic.
Oh, but remember the tagline was "Get ready to root for the bad guy."
Yeah.
And I think it was like the first introduction to Lucy Liu as well, who was just
it was
smoking hot in that movie.
Bunch of people. It's a good movie.
It's a great movie, but when I was rewatching it, pretty cheesy and hokey at points, but still well worth watching. If you've never seen Payback, it's a damn good watch. Also,
I think it was like that movie was like a callback to like some of the 60s and 70s kind of movies.
It was because he has
style that it was done.
He has the voiceover.
Yeah.
That he's kind of describing what it is that's going on, but that's definitely worth checking out. And I think they had it on Amazon Prime. I'm saying that because I don't really know 100% sure if that's right, but it was available anyway. Also, I think I've mentioned this in last week, or I know I mentioned it to you guys. My kid is now fully into The Simpsons. So anytime, I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want to watch The Simpsons. Badass. And we're creeping up on the Who Shot Mr. Burns episode. And I'm going to see if she can guess who shot Mr. Burns. So we'll figure out if she's able to do that. You guys got anything else that you're playing, doing? Or are you ready to move on and play some Gen Z game, huh?
Sure, let's fail at Gen Z games.
All right, it is time for the Gen Z game. Frank went first last time. or in the previous game. So, Lan, you'll go first this time. So the way that I have this broken up is it's going to go like, and you'll get back-to-back questions because, listen, I'm trying to remember how the hell I set this up, but we'll just kind of wing it right here. But we're going to start immediately off with Lan.
Winging it.
So this question is the world. So essentially the way this works is you have questions that a Gen Z would know or questions that anybody else would know, like a baby boomer or a Gen X or a millennial. And they're kind of separated into these two different categories. So this one, if I say the world, it's the older generations that I'm talking about. So this one, for the world, Lan, what film is this quote from? What is this? A school for ants? I gotta reset your scores.
I have no idea.
Frank, would you like to steal?
No, I'm blanking on it too.
Oh. That was the wrong
The
button.
Western?
No, that was the wrong button. Zoolander. That was from Zoolander.
Ah,
Oh,
All right, again, if you're in the chat, you're more than welcome to chime away if you guys think you know the stuff. All right, so Frank, this one's for you. It's a question. It's the world. Finish the lyrics. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words.
just hypnotized me.
Hey-oh! 1 point for Frank.
Dude,
All
I
right.
played that CD like 20 days straight.
All right, so we're going to stick with Frank here on this one because this is a Gen Z question. How did I map this out? I'm really confused as to what the hell I did.
Same.
Anyway, all right, here's a Gen Z question for... Actually, no, I'm going to give this one to Lan. We're just going to go back and forth between you guys. All right, so this one's for you, Lan. Gen Z, what is the name of the 2020 true crime documentary that featured Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin?
oh, was like the Tiger King.
Had a kid, big point for Lan. All right, Frank, moving on to you. Gen Z question. What HBO series caused the baby name Khaleesi to spike in popularity?
Dude. I can give you the theme song, but I'm blanking on the name right now, dude.
Oh my God, Lan, you want to steal?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Even though that wasn't her name, it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I would. You know what?
No, that wasn't her name, but it was it. People were naming their kids Khaleesi.
I
Yeah,
had
exactly.
the theme.
I'm saying that even though it wasn't her name.
I had the theme, and then House of Dragon popped in my head because I put out Lord of the, and I almost went Lord of the Rings for Christ's sakes. It's just a jumble in my brain right now.
We used to play a theme song on the morning show I was on where it's the do 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 do, except it's guys going wiener 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 wiener, and there's full lyrics to about how and then you see a dragon, but no, that's a wiener 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 wiener. All right, that was Frank's. Lan, this one's on you, buddy. Gen Z question. In 2011, Kanye West and Jay-Z released which collaborative album?
Watch the Throne.
That is correct, sir. Watch the Throne. Dude, back-to-back Throne questions, by the way.
Yeah,
all right,
right?
Frank, here's for you. Did I give you your point on that one? I did. Gen Z question here for you. Frank, what metal are Wolverine's claws coated with?
Antimonium, something like that.
I can't give you that. That's not it.
Hmm.
All right, Frank, or Lan, Steele?
Adamantium.
Adamantium is the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Lan,
I was in the ballpark.
your question here.
You were.
This one is from the world category. What was the name of Patrick Swayze's character in Dirty Dancing? Frank, a big Patrick Swayze fan?
I am, but
Oh, he might not know it. Lan, thinking about it. No guess from Lan. Frank, Steele?
no. The two names I ever remember him playing are Bodie from surf movie Point Break, and then from Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
I don't know this one.
Roadhouse.
What was the name from Roadhouse? I don't think I ever saw Roadhouse.
Dalton.
Oh, yeah. Which they're
Dalton.
remaking Roadhouse with.
with Jake Gyllenhaal.
is that
He's
who
an
it is?
MMA fighter. Yeah.
Julie Jules, what is up? Hello. Maybe you
Julie
can get some correct answers in here.
probably will.
Johnny was the name. Johnny. Ladies and gentlemen.
Johnny Ringo.
All right, we're
Do
going
it for Johnny.
Oh, dude, I want to watch Tombstone so bad. All right, Frank, going to the world here. On which social network was the hashtag originally used?
It wasn't MySpace, was it?
It was not. Land, Steel.
Twitter.
It
See, I
was.
thought that was, but I thought that would be too easy of an answer, so I went with MySpace.
All right, going back to land on this one here. It's a question for the world. In the 2008 presidential election, who was John McCain's running mate?
That was my answer.
No.
That's not it.
Frank, Steel.
Again,
Again, anybody, if you're watching here on YouTube, you're more than welcome to put these answers in the chat.
it was Woody Harrelson from that movie on HBO.
It was not. It was Who's Nailin' Palin? Sarah Palin, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the crazy
God
psycho
damn it.
from Alaska. I forgot about that.
I know Russia because I
Vero.
can see it from my house.
Vero got it. That man, I'm telling you, those are some of the best when they would have Tina Fey and Amy Poehler as Sarah Palin and Clinton.
Hillary
and
Clinton. Yeah.
There's one where they're together and Clinton's just getting pissed because she feels like Sarah Palin's taken over. And just if you haven't seen that stuff, go back and watch it. I think it's available on YouTube. All right, we are going back to who's first on this one here.
I just want.
Okay,
Yeah.
Frank, the world a question.
You're a
What was the
boomer.
coach's name played by Denzel Washington in Remember the Titans?
I don't remember.
You don't remember the
Something-
Titans?
No, dude, I haven't seen that movie in like 15 years.
Such a good
Honestly, it was a good movie. I know Ryan Gosling's in it, and everybody makes fun of him because he's the white guy that doesn't know how to run backwards. And they remind people who date him that he sucked as a defensive back.
And don't forget Sunshine.
Yeah, you had Sunshine. You had the big old fat kid who's now lost all the weight.
Now he's
looking
ripped.
good.
Now he's ripped. The guy that was in My Name is Earl. All right, well, I got to take
Yeah.
the point, Frank. Land, you got to guess it all?
Whittingham.
No, I have no idea. Never watched the movie.
Really? Coach Herman Boone, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
Coach
right.
Herman Boone on that
Boone.
one. All right, Land with the 4-1 lead. This basically is yours, but we're going to wrap up with these two final questions here. Land, Gen Z question. What is the name of the popular video conferencing service that was founded in 2011?
Skype.
Frank?
Zoom.
It was Zoom. You can make this a game right here, Frank. You can make it look like you only lost by one. This one's for you. Gen Z
Ooh.
question. Which Nickelodeon show did Emma Roberts star in?
Who's Emma Roberts?
She is Eric Roberts' daughter.
No shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's the ticket. You starting to sound like John Lovitz. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Julia Roberts' niece.
Alex Mack.
The Secret World of Alex Mack. No, that was Larissa Olenek, and I remember because I used to watch that show. I used to record that show.
That was a great show.
It was fantastic.
Why did? Oh, it was just that good of a show.
Yeah,
it was like
great.
ripping off X-Men. It was like a C version of X-Men. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
she basically had superpowers, and it was
because
a fun
ooze
show.
fell on her. It was so wild.
Yeah, and she could do this thing where she turned into this like a weird
Slime.
version of the Terminator, where it was like this silver liquid.
She got her powers from toxic waste falling on her, Alan.
Yep.
That was the message of the show.
Yeah.
She
She
sounds
was
like the
she was
Toxic
Nickelodeon's
Avenger.
Daredevil, is what she
Yeah.
I
was.
was gonna say it's pretty standard superhero stuff.
All right,
Yeah.
Lane, you got any guesses on which Nickelodeon show Emma Roberts starred in? Nobody in the chat's
No
guessing
idea.
it. No?
No idea.
Unfabulous, apparently, was the name
What
of the
the
show.
hell was that?
Unfabulous.
No kidding. What
I
was
don't
that?
know. I've never actually seen the show, and I just wrote down the question. So,
All right.
ha freaking ha.
That question.
All right, here we go. We're going to get into an alien invasion movie draft.
All right.
We're going to pick the perfect triple feature night of alien invasion movies. So the way that this is going to work is Alan won
Good
both.
music to it.
Huh?
It's a good music to it too.
Since Alan won both of the previous games, Alan will get to go first, Frank can go second, and then I will go third.
Okay.
So, Lan, if you were to have a alien invasion, so the stipulation I did tell the guys before all this too was that the movie had to be aliens coming to Earth. Like it couldn't be like Star Wars wouldn't count. So Lan, pick number one.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm going with Predator.
Lan, dropping it hot. Predator, number one. All right, that one is off the board. Frank, you're on the clock.
Are we starting with our number one picks that we go, or like?
I mean,
from
it's
bottom up?
like you would have to think.
I'll
Consider
go,
like
with the,
any-
I'll go with the number one. All right, my number one was Signs, because that movie still scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Going with Signs. Good pick so far from everybody. For my first alien invasion movie, I am going to go with Mars Attacks.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I felt like that was one that might have been stolen, so...
Yeah, that was on my list.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
Well, Predator was on my list, all right? All right, Lane, you're up. What's going to be your second pick?
I'm going with the classic Roddy Piper, They Live.
Yes.
Oh! I have come to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Kick ass, and I'm
I am
all out of
all
bubblegum.
Yeah.
Good movie.
That is arguably one of the best lines from a movie. I guarantee a lot of people don't know.
And he's the one that came
a
up
lot
with
of people,
that, like on the
yeah.
spot.
And a lot of people think it's from Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
It is not. All right, Frank, what's your second pick?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Ooh.
Either one. I like the '70s one better. It was more interesting than this more updated one. But Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That was Donald Sutherland, right?
Yeah. Because you
He's
have the one
that
from the
meme.
'50s.
And he's in that meme where like
Yeah,
he
where
does
he's
the
pointing like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
make that
They
weird
had the
thing
one from
right
the
there.
'50s, the '70s, and then they redid it with Nicole Kidman and 007.
All right, well, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here, and I have a lot of different options for alien invasion movies that I want to pick, but I would be remiss if I didn't go with The Thing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You got to go with that.
baby.
All right, Lan, you're up next, man. What is your third and final movie for your perfect alien invasion movie night?
So this is like the perfect movie, especially since we talked about what was it, terrestrials?
Yeah,
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
People from another dimension.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh,
Dude, that's such a trippy movie. I enjoy it, but that's such a trip fest, man.
Good pull, Lan. Good pull. All right, Frank, your final pick. What are you going with?
I had kind of a toss up for my third one, but I'll go with just one of them. Independence Day.
Right?
I was wondering if anybody was going to pick that one. That's a solid pick.
I mean, it's basically War of the Worlds, but it's a great popcorn flick where shit's gonna blow up. There's aliens with vagina, penis fingers, and Will Smith is gonna save the day and smoke a cigar, and then
With
not
Jeff
show up for the
Goldblum.
sequel. Yeah, and then not show up for the sequel because it freaking sucked.
I never
forgot
did.
that they had a sequel.
I forget about that. I never saw it, and then I heard it was just an absolute train wreck, so I never really.
Had a giant ultra alien at the end of it.
No, lame. All right, let me go through my list here because I have a bunch of honorable mentions. I got to make sure that I delete all the ones that you guys came up with. I'm surprised nobody went with Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't consider it an invasion because it was more like they returned people and then
Visiting.
like abduction.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Um,
But yeah, I get you.
there's also other options in here. Cloverfield was technically an alien invasion movie.
Yeah. I think that more
Avengers,
as like a Godzilla movie.
the first
Yeah,
Avengers
Avengers.
is technically an invasion movie. You have District 9,
Yep, saw that.
Transformers.
Battlefield Los Angeles.
Yeah.
How come nobody said Men in Black yet?
Men in
But
Black.
was that invasion though?
Well, see, and that's
Yeah,
where
I
it's,
guess that's
is
Because they were
it
kinda
aliens
just
are
hanging
here,
out,
or
you
is it
know?
an
Yeah.
actual invasion? Because I'm a little
Having Jedi
surprised.
babies in the street.
I'm a little surprised Frank didn't go with this one. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I didn't even think of that one, but that one is good.
I am
Stupid ass clowns.
Stunned that Frank did not come up with that one. But there was another one. So we still haven't gotten to my third pick yet. These are all kind of honorable mentions. There was one. Did you guys ever see the movie Arrival?
Yeah, which one? The most
The
recent
one
one, or
with-
the
is
one
it
with
Amy-
Charlie Sheen?
No, it was the newer one. It was like, I think it was
Okay.
Amy Adams was in it.
Yeah. I saw that one.
Yeah.
Amy Adams, Forrest Whitaker, Jeremy Renner were all in this. I thought it was a brilliant movie. And
I heard it was really good.
It's definitely worth checking out. And the funny thing is, Buzz had seen it before I did, and he didn't want to give any spoilers. He goes, "Look, I'm not going to tell you what happens in the movie. I'm not going to give any spoilers. The only thing I'm going to tell you is Kang and Kodos." That's all he said to me. And and sure as shit, when they finally show the aliens in Arrival, I started laughing in the theater, and it's not a laughable moment. Like, it's not a comedic scene, and I started laughing. So this is, I think, it was my wife and I. It was our second or third date, was that movie. And so she's getting all awkward, like, "Why are you laughing?" And I'm like, "I'll have to tell you later," like because of the Kang and Kodos comment. But my third movie for the ultimate alien invasion movie night. Do you guys remember The Fourth Kind?
Yeah, I saw that one on there, but I didn't take that as invasion. It was more of
No.
an abduction, but yeah, I know
Oh.
which one you're talking about.
I would
With
consider
me-
I consider
Mila
the abduction
Djokovic.
invasion kind of in the same thing. And it's, if you've never seen The Fourth Kind, it has Mila Jovovich in it and a couple other big name actors. But the way that they portrayed it was that the movie was based on actual found footage, and they
Yeah,
intertwined the movie with what looked like actual footage from
cops,
like
vehicles, and stuff.
yeah, like an alien abduction. And I'm telling you, the way that they morph the faces and the way that they just, like, the sounds that are made, it still terrifies me. Like, they did a brilliant job with this. So The Fourth Kind is definitely up there. So
Fire in the Sky I saw was listed as one too, but I never saw that one as an invasion. That was more of an abduction, to
Abduction,
me.
yeah.
I
And
kept
that
seeing
one
that
had
one-
the freakiest abduction scene ever in it. Holy crap!
I kept seeing that one pop up too. Like, that was definitely one of those ones that that was one of the ones. And then there was what was another one that I saw a lot of on lists? It was the Tom Cruise movie, where the guy's
That war-
reliving the same.
Oblivion.
No, he's reliving the same day over and over again, and he's
Oh.
fighting aliens.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a great movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie. The Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it had a second title too.
They're making a sequel to that.
Oh, good lord! What is it? The Edge of the Day After Tomorrow?
Next Friday. I don't know.
Friday.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we're wrapping up on the end of the stream here. We're not going to be able to get to Gartic Phone. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I want to get to one. I want to try to get to one here. And if Julie Jules, Nightmare, Vero, if you guys are up, because we do need people playing this with us. If not, we can wrap up the stream because it's 8 o'clock and technically the stream is over. But if you guys want to, we can play Gartic Phone. All you have to do is go to garticphone.com, and then we can create the game over there. And essentially the way that it works is you start with like a prompt, and then each person has to draw it, and then it kind of goes like the phone game from there. So if you want to, I'm going to give you guys like 30 seconds here to say yay or nay. If not, we can wrap up the stream. We can certainly get to this stuff next week. And I do want to applaud us on the back, give us a little... Do you guys know why I'm doing that for this show?
No.
Not one shit joke.
Hey. You know why? Because Shim's not here. If he was here, we would have been just doing them all over the place.
Well, I find because he was the one that was kind of like, he's like, this was really, like lowbrow stuff, and I was like, well, you never know.
It was just
so.
the topics. If he was here, we would still be talking about how aliens built or didn't build certain structures in the world.
Oh, by the way, too, on the alien front or the UFO thing, McMenamins is having a UFO fest in May
Oh,
over in McMinnville.
I would love
Bro, you
to
guys
do
should
that.
come. We should go freaking visit McMinnville and drink.
Oh,
Find
because
aliens.
McMinnville's
Talk
out
about
where they have
UFOs.
the museum out there. The not the
Yeah.
alien museum, but the air flight museum.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me figure out how the hell I'm gonna do this here because it looks like I actually have to individually invite you guys. which is going to be a problem. We might just have to put a pin in Gartic phone. I didn't really prep for this as well as I had hoped, so we might have
we'll
to.
hit it up next time.
Well, yeah, we'll hit it up next time. We'll definitely we'll do some Gartic phone, or we'll play some Jackbox, or some stuff like that. So again, make sure you guys are checking out all the channels I got: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I do have a TikTok. It's just all the same stuff. But if you prefer TikTok, you're more than welcome to go check it out over there. Really, the only video that is doing anything on my TikTok channel is the one about them leaving Chris Von Erich out of the Iron Claw movie. It's the only every other video I do gets like 50 views on TikTok. So, but on that note, make sure you guys are checking that stuff out. Make sure you guys are commenting on things, liking things. We're going to be back next week with more show. If there's ever a subject that you guys want either us to cover here on the live stream, you can always hit me up on Instagram is usually the easiest way to send me a message, or you can comment directly on these videos, especially if you're watching this on a replay, or if there's another video where I do 120 seconds of explaining a particular topic. The one video that I dropped today was about essentially diabetes and how they sort of discovered the fact that the men that were able to isolate the insulin out of the organs, and they were able to purify it and essentially save countless and countless lives. So make sure you guys are checking out those videos. Go give them a like and all that fun stuff. And on that note, Lan, anything you want to wrap up with here? Any soccer brags you would like to?
Well, I'm all decked out in white because Real Madrid beat Atletico today to move on to the finals for the Spanish Super Cup, and that'll be on Saturday. And I'll probably be wearing more Madrid gear next week.
Say that 5 times fast. Spanish Super Cup.
Yeah.
Spanish Super Cup, Spanish Super Cup, Spanish Super Cup, Spanish.
You got to 4.
I got 2.
You got 3. Yeah, there you go. Frank, anything you want to complain about Florida State not making it to the playoff?
I mean, we could go for another 3 hours if you wanted that. What I will say is, hey, Alabama, welcome back to mediocrity, bitches.
I love how Frank doesn't believe in conspiracy theories, and he's adamant that aliens don't exist, but he will talk your ear off on a conspiracy theory about why Florida State didn't make it.
ESPN, SEC.
All right, hold on, you want a little bit of...
Scissoring is what I'm implying. They're scissoring.
Wow.
When we get off the air, I have one of the funniest goddamn things. I think I've told you guys this already before, but I have a really funny story that I have to tell you. And then maybe it'll eventually make it to one of these live streams and one of these shows for you guys. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us here. Shim off again next week as well. Again, we did one show, and all of a sudden the guy's taking all the goddamn time off.
Yeah, he's using all his PTO.
For a show that nobody gets paid for. And oddly enough, real quick too, make sure you guys are liking this stuff and you're giving it the full watch, because somehow it was showing I was well up into the triple digits for last week's live stream. And if you go back and look now, it's down to like 77. Somehow I got negative views on last week's live stream, but it's not that I'm complaining or anything. So have yourselves a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you guys in